I decided that even if the quality on the video is kind of shit, this is at least a way for me to start. I don't think new creators should be investing too much in video equipment because, well, you have to try to see if you actually like it, if you, well, can do it consistently, and if you have even a little bit of success, up at least maybe, I don't know, maybe 1,000 views and up per video would be like a good threshold for a new creator to decide, well, okay, it's time to buy equipment. And so I'm doing this, I'm recording on my laptop camera that has like 0.3 megapixels. I'm recording the sound with my phone. I don't have a tripod for the phone yet, so. And I had, well, I still have this iPhone SE 2020, um, but I'm actually going to try to sell it. And I'm actually going to try to sell it at a profit compared to what I bought it, even though I bought it fairly expensive. We will see how that goes. Um, but yeah, so the point of this video is basically to sort of, first of all, create a vision for myself. I want to make like an outline for the types of videos that I'll be posting here. Uh, at this moment, I have a sort of very narcissistic view of this because what I bring to the table is basically my viewpoint of the world, but I think that there might be at least 10 people out there who might watch this video and who might sort of feel seen and understood by it, because I noticed this in my own browsing habits, because sometimes I will just be bored, try to relax, have a nice time, and I liked watching those types of YouTube videos that it was a person somehow showing their daily life, day in the life vlogs in Japan, and the people weren't talking at all, they were just showing what they were doing. But they had subtitles. It was very calm to watch those on the big TV, and um, somehow, like reading those subtitles, the people were saying some things like they were being grateful for things that happen in their lives. They were being grateful for the rain. They were being grateful for the fact that they were able to live in those places, to be in those situations, right? So I kind of wanted to put my hand like this, but okay. Um, I have a very, maybe not so unique, but I don't think I ever met somebody who views the world in the same way that I do. Um, Basically, I see this world. It is very, very similar to what Nassim Nicholas Taleb describes in his book Anti-Fragile. Extremely interesting book. I've been reading like, I'm at 20% of it. I read The Black Swan before reading this one, and it's been fairly interesting as well. I've learned some things. And in Anti-Fragile, it's telling us that we need to sort of organize our life in such a way that we benefit from the randomness that is inescapable in this world. So I realized that many of those things, like building redundancy, not completely trusting a single system, not getting locked to a single system. For example, I tried this iPhone, but I cannot like it because it's locking me to a single system, and I'm having somehow this inner debate with myself, even with my Samsung phone, because it has some features that are exclusive to Samsung, and I got used to quite a few of those, but well, that means that now what? Am I stuck using Samsung phones and tablets my whole life? No, I have another tablet that it has less of the benefits that Samsung offered, but it has also the same hardware that I could find in another tablet that they were selling. and well, it was the same hardware, except that the Samsung one was like $50-$60 more expensive than the $100 Lenovo tablet, because in my opinion at least, it had the Samsung software, for which, well, maybe they invested more time building it, maybe they invested more time, well, okay, it makes sense. They are putting more things. It has more benefits than this Lenovo tablet, even though the Lenovo tablet is pretty good on the softer side too. It has the limiting the battery to 60%, in case you're using it plugged in all the time. Um, but yeah, so modes and routines is a Samsung thing that they copied from Apple, but it's still extremely nice to have, like setting a location and the time frame. So for example, I can tell it when I'm at this location between this and this time, so 9 and 5:30 when I'm at my job, at my workplace. I can set it to put itself on vibrate, right? So it wouldn't distract me from my work or distract my coworkers, make noises from receiving messages. And I was thinking like, okay, so I might have this phone for like 2 or 3 more years. I will just change the battery and it's good to go for 2 or 3 more years. Because the processor is mid-range Snapdragon 778G Plus, I think. I'm not very sure. It's a Samsung A52s. And it's a very good phone, right? But okay, so 2-3 years from now when I'm going to buy a new phone, am I still going to have to be stuck with the Samsung brand? Like, I don't see how loyalty benefits me in this case. I think it's better to rely on services that are sort of universal, like um, for example, using Dropbox or something to save all my pictures, and using third-party sound recorders, not the built-in apps. But that's another problem, because like the Android ecosystem, Google leaves it too much to third parties to do. Because, for example, I would prefer to have a Google Files app. The one that they offer is acceptable, but much better is the Samsung one, Samsung My Files. Or I found myself when I had a Motorola phone, I was using the, what's it called, the Xiaomi Files app, and it had ads and it was annoying. So that's another reason that I might get locked in. And then is the other debate, well, if I never ever in my life bought Samsung, would I have even had this problem? Like, just stick with Motorola and basic Android, and it would have been like easier for me. I don't know. But at the same time, I was curious to try it out. Never had a Samsung until now. I don't even know why I'm spending this time talking about fucking brands, but yeah. And so yeah, let's get back to the main idea, because I got sidetracked there for like not a second, but a couple of minutes. What I was trying to say is, I think it's good to build redundancy, to not be dependent on certain systems, especially closed source, closed, ecosystems like the one Apple has, because then you're locked in there. And it's extremely hard to get out. And I was thinking, well, okay, I'm not locked into the Apple ecosystem, but I'm locked into the Google ecosystem. I was using like Google Keep, Google Drive, all that stuff. And well, yeah, I'm stuck in that ecosystem. But one, I think Google makes it much easier to get out of the ecosystem. Is also because like they're subject to more regulatory pressures. Second, uh, the Google ecosystem at least works on iPhone. I had this iPhone, I had Google Keep, I had Gmail, I had everything. So like, wouldn't have been possible the other way around, right? Going from Apple to Android, or going from iPhone to Android, right? you would go there and what? You would find yourself having to like manually transfer all your stuff over. Okay, there is a software that you have that you can pass everything over, but still, with Google, it was extremely seamless. I just installed the apps and all my stuff was there. So it's better to somehow strive towards these types of solutions that don't lock you in to something. Another idea is that I hate making contracts. I hate the idea of being locked into something that I signed for a year. So the first thing, whenever I have to sign a contract, it's like I look so, hypothetically speaking, if there is something that I didn't like anymore in this contract, how could I get out of it? What would it cost me to sort of nullify this contract, right? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.